This video is part of a series of videos focusing on the character relationship moments on screen between Yaz and the 13th Doctor. If you'd like to start at the beginning, click the link in the corner. Otherwise, welcome to the next video. Everything changes in Season 12, not only because of the huge revelations from the Doctor's past, but also for Yasmin Khan. Season 11 was a light-hearted, exciting adventure. New worlds for Yaz, Graham, and Ryan, a new regeneration in personality for the Doctor, and seeing the universe through the eyes of new companions. But with Season 12's first 2 episodes, Spyfall Part 1 and 2, everything quickly becomes much more serious. The Master emerges, this time with one of his biggest plans to take down the Doctor. These events result in the Doctor's next big obsession that looks like it will follow her until 13's regeneration into 14 and possibly beyond. And Yaz finds herself in over her head without the safety net that the Doctor always provides, not realizing how quickly things can escalate on these adventures. She goes from being in full control of the situation, following all the examples of 13 that she has learned on their recent travels, to full-on drowning, completely out of control, attacked by the Kasavan, and transported to a different reality or dimension altogether. Yaz has no idea if she can even return to Earth, facing for the first time that she could die on her own, with the Doctor having no way of knowing where she is or how to rescue her.
Stay away from me!
Yaz's experience is presented on screen as trauma. Even though the Doctor magically rescues her, that moment of falling into the unknown, not knowing how to escape, realizing how underprepared she actually was for this sort of thing, something triggers a response that changes how Yaz has to deal with it.
It was just like nothingness, and I was totally alone. I thought I was dead.
Yaz doesn't experience this trauma alone. Although it's never discussed on screen, the Doctor also encounters that initial moment of gasping for air after being transported through the Kasavan gateway.
No.
Of course, the Doctor has much more experience with these kinds of moments. She's not as significantly affected as Yaz, but being transported in this way seems to be on the extreme end of any previous teleportation-like travel the Doctor has used. Shared trauma can inform how two persons might develop a deeper emotional bond that could lead to romantic attachment. Yaz's reaction to having her body blitzed by a sonic mine didn't have this effect on her. Her near-death experience at the Kerblam factory, where Dan, the worker at the factory, took her place on a work assignment and died as a result, that didn't register as trauma. Even being teleported into space, scooped up by a spaceship, and emerging to the confusion of a crashing ship, that didn't result in significant on-screen damage to her mental health. This episode is presenting Yaz's experience as more intensely traumatic for a reason. I haven't found specific moments that I can track as repercussions of this trauma for Yaz, but I'm hopeful something will reveal itself. Individual clothing choices stand out, particularly when everyone gets dressed up for the party. Our main characters are stuck in these outfits for the remainder of the episodes, despite either being on the run as fugitives or being transported hundreds of years into the past. The Doctor simply looks amazing in her bow tie, culottes, and tailcoat. That's enough to boost anyone's crush on her. And Yaz rocks the flashy dress coat, with nods to the 3rd, 11th, and 12th Doctors, but Yaz ramps it up a few notches. Is there a significance to their choices here? Yaz is dressed to stand out, hair done up, but still wearing sensible clothes knowing how traveling with the Doctor goes. I don't think this is simply a binary construct with Yaz representing a femme role and the Doctor a more masculine one. Those binary models don't feel useful either in present-day 2022 or in trying to understand the identity of Time Lords or other species across the universe. We can draw a connection between Yaz and the Doctor's outfits in part because Graham, Ryan, and O are all dressed rather as would be expected for someone attending a formal event. The three companions have been traveling with the Doctor for months, so Yaz has had plenty of opportunity to observe the Doctor's personality, expressiveness, and sense of dress and style.
That's what you're going with? Yep. Got any cash? Empty pockets.
Is the Doctor rubbing off on her, or is she discovering her own unique sense of style, a result of becoming empowered to embrace her own identity more confidently? Is Yaz actually doing drag here for a moment? If Yaz's go-to outfit is her leather jacket and practical clothing, we might actually be able to classify this kind of dress or some of the later outfits as Yaz's version of doing drag in relation to her day-to-day presentation. Which of course leads us to the question of Yaz's sexuality. It's easy to assume a label of bisexual, pansexual, or omnisexual because Yaz clearly has interest in the Doctor, and at the same time, her mother has also questioned her about her relationship with Ryan back in season 11, episode 4. But I just don't see the on-screen evidence from Yaz that supports this conclusion.
Did we win?
No.
Didn't know what I was doing anyway.
Well, you know what they say. Lucky at dice, unlucky in love.
Yaz is clearly confused by the flirtation from O at the craps table. We could read that as Yaz simply not being interested in him while still rocking the bisexual or pansexual identity. But we need something more definitive to actually get us to that conclusion. Without actual evidence from Yaz or implied through actions, any conclusions are based in assumptions and projections of what we consider to be normal identities. The Doctor also has a second negative response to Graham's actions this season. Back in season 11, episode 3, the Doctor was clearly repulsed by Graham's play-acting, affection, and physical touch. In the next episode, Orphan 55, Graham makes a joke about his Speedo, and the Doctor makes another face of disgust. I can't find any moments of expressed sexuality by either Yaz or the Doctor. Graham has his wife, Grace, then later flirts with Ravio in the last 2 episodes of this season. Ryan connects with Bella in Orphan 55. He also has a close relationship with his friend Thibaut. But we never see any such things happening for Yaz. Similarly, we never see any indications of sexual identity for the Doctor, other than her disgust at Graham a few times. Based on their evolving presentation choices, having sexual identities from the range of underrepresented categories would be the safest prediction. Captain Jack's expressive pansexuality or omnisexuality was a welcome addition back in 2005, and we have had more traditionally queer supporting characters in recent years, but we haven't seen a strongly identified asexual character in Doctor Who. Wouldn't it be amazing if Yaz and the Doctor were both revealed to be asexual, but with an emotionally romantic relationship? That's an underrepresented identity I would love to see more of on screen. As things change for everyone aboard the TARDIS this season, Graham, Ryan, and Yaz are discovering that they know much less about the Doctor than they thought. They don't know where she is from, they don't know about regeneration, they don't know the Doctor has arch enemies. For the Doctor, the destruction of Gallifrey by the Master changes everything. She broods, becomes more detached, becomes obsessed with finding answers, to the point that she is missing out on what is happening right now with her and her friends. The flirtatious fun that the Doctor had with Yaz in season 11 quickly disappears as the dangers increase with the Daleks, the Master, and the Cybermen in season 12. Secrets emerge, ones that the Doctor doesn't even know about, and that presses her to hold tight to many of the other secrets she hasn't yet shared with Yaz and the boys.
Can we visit? You home? Another time.
Yaz wants to get emotionally closer to the Doctor, so asking her to visit home on Gallifrey makes sense. But for the Doctor, any direct attempts to get closer are only going to become wedges instead. I'll see you next time as we continue to parse out relationship moments between Yaz and the 13th Doctor in the following episodes. Click the link in the corner for the next video, or find links in the description to all parts of the series.